pocket. Only if we as a society could unite and stay home and refuse to buy gas for weeks and send a message of defiance instead of compliance, we perhaps could affect change, and it's high time that we demand a competent form of government. So now it's your turn. Call in. Let's hear what you got to say, Statesville, Moxville, surrounding areas, about our gas situation. Call in if anyone has seen any price gouging. I got a call from Mr. Roy Carter yesterday that's running as the Democrat candidate for Congress 5th District, and he was actually riding around looking for gas price gouging, and he found some, and he wanted us to report that today, so I wanted to share that with you. But let's hear from our listeners. Why is this happening? Who is to blame? How do we fix it? What is your opinion, and how is high-priced gas affecting you, our listeners here in this area? And I welcome your comments, because what we saw yesterday was just obviously the manipulation of gas prices. I grew up in this area, and as a child, I never saw storms in other regions affect our gas prices. From what I understand, there's cows in Texas. Did milk go up a whole bunch that was on the shelf? Did beef go up? Did leather products drastically rise yesterday because of an incoming storm? No, it was all the gas. So let's take a hard look at that. And if someone can call in and tell me that that makes some sense or justify what happened yesterday, please, I'm ready to listen to you. But our phone numbers are 704-873-1400. Our Davie County number is 336-499-0681. And next week also, while I've got it in mind, our guest is going to be Kay Hagan, Democrat candidate for Senate. If anyone would like to email questions that they would like us to ask her next week, we'll be happy to. So feel free to do that. And I've got something else in the news I'd like to comment on. And if you remember back about, I'm not certain of the exact date, but it was 8 or 10 months ago, the liquid bomber scare, where it was all over the news, where they had attempted to blow up a plane with liquid explosives. This is according to Prison Planet. None of the suspects charged with the headline-grabbing plan to blow up airlines were found guilty. All of them, including the ringleader, completely acquitted. The much-vaunted liquid bomb terror plot that provoked paranoid airport security measures and overnight change in bagging procedures, and at one point led mothers having to drink their own breast milk, completely collapsed yesterday in court after the alleged ringleader was completely acquitted, and none of the other suspects were charged with conspiracy to blow up an airliner. 7 men admitted plotting to cause a public nuisance. An 8th man was cleared at the Woolwich Crown Court, reports the BBC. But after more than 50 hours of deliberations, the jury could not find any of the defendants guilty of conspiring to target an aircraft. Mohammed Gulzar, 27, who Scotland Yard accused of being the ringleader in the plot, was cleared of all offenses. Despite the fact that all the suspects were cleared of the charges of targeting aircraft, some quarters of the media are still bizarrely citing the verdict as a reason to continue the pointless restrictions on liquids in carrying on luggage. Numerous airliners, as well as Britain's largest airport owner, are now calling on the government to repeal the measures. We would expect the government to review its security regulations following the outcome of this case, said Roger Wilshire, Chief Executive of British Air Transport Association, whose members include the BA and Virgin Airlines. BAA, the owner of Britain's top 3 airports, including Heathrow, said today's verdict means like a good opportunity for the government to consider the security measures currently in place at British airports. Whether the government will cave into pressure and reverse their much-cherished behavior compliance airport security measures remains to be seen, but the fact that the liquid terror plot was complete fabrication became apparent from the very start. We'll go hear from some of our listeners now. You're on the Real News.
Hey, I'll call in and talk about this, what he's talking about on the radio, the gas.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, I can tell you one thing that caused gas to go up, people panicking and run to the gas stations.
Well,
the public has got a lot to do with this.
I agree.
You ought to have seen the lines at the service stations. They've got a lot to do with it.
I agree, but either the press or the government or someone is instilling this panic in the public to to start this. I agree with you. I went down Highway 21. They about had the highway shut down from all the people lined up to get gas. There's in Home Depot buying jugs. I mean, it's just blowed my mind. Did you see the gas go up 50 cents in a couple of hours?
Yeah, I seen it. But that's the thing about it, though. The people, hey, I feel I got a truck and I got a car. I fill my truck up and my car up once every 2 weeks. That's it. And if I see I'm running short on gas, I don't go nowhere. And that's what everybody's going to have to start doing.
Well, I agree with you on that. If we could unite and stick it back to the gas companies just a little bit, that would be part of the solution. I mean, I don't know your age, but I would say that you've been around here just a little while. Do you agree that in times past we didn't have this situation where storms that hadn't even made landfall caused a panic and everybody had to go buy gas?
No. I'm 72 years old. But I'm going to tell you, in 1955, I was selling gas in Charlotte. I had a service station in Charlotte. I was selling gas for 13 cents a gallon. And it was costing me 12.5 cents a gallon in 1955.
Well, yesterday somebody was making over 50 cents a gallon because that gas was already in the ground, in the tanks, bought and paid for, and some big corporate executive somewhere lined their pockets.
I know it. It's all a put-up, all it is. But I tell you, politicians in the Congress, they're the ones controlling this thing. Don't think they're not. That House Speaker, if you want to call her that, but anyway, she won't do anything. And that's what's wrong with our we need to get rid of every bit of one of them congressmen, senators up there and put somebody else doing there. Get rid of their lawyers. Get rid of them lawyers up there. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi wouldn't allow an up or down vote on offshore drilling right before the Congress adjourned to go on vacation. And, our Congresswoman here, Virginia Fox, she stayed and was in protest of that. And too many lawyers in Washington, too many lawyers in Raleigh. I can agree with you on that one.
Well, that's just like Mike McCollum comes on at 12 o'clock on WSI. About 3 or 4, maybe 5 weeks ago, he had a guy on there talking about the oil and talking about AMWA, where they want to drill the oil in AMWA. He said all they'd have to do is in AMWA is put in a short line that it wasn't very far from where they want to drill from the pipeline they built. And the pipeline they built will more than take care of that amount of oil. But yet they won't do it.
It's amazing, isn't it? Was there anything else you'd like to add today? And we certainly do appreciate you calling.
That's about all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we're still covering the liquid terror bomb plot. So I wanted to report that when these so-called terror plots happened, it is all the rage on CNN. Fox News, the talking heads discussed it to death. Every possible scenario, link it to this group or that group. Instantly install all these new security measures. And then months or years later, the accused are acquitted or the case is completely dropped. And, of course, this story is never front page or leading off the evening news anymore. When the government's evidence collapses, it may appear on the back page of a newspaper, but here, once again, the liquid bombers that we were told by the media were out to kill us, a terrorist cell out to get us, totally acquitted of all charges once again. And I wanted to comment while we got a little bit of time, and Brian might want to comment on this too, on the U.S. seizes mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And this is being reported by the Wall Street Journal. In its most dramatic market intervention in years, the U.S. government seized 2 of the nation's largest financial companies, taking direct responsibility for firms that provide funding for around 3/4 of new home mortgages. Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson announced plans Sunday to take control of troubled mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and replace the company's chief executives. The Treasury will acquire $1 billion of preferred shares in each company without providing immediate cash, and has pledged to provide as much as $200 billion to the companies as they cope with heavy losses on mortgage defaults. The Treasury's plan puts the 2 companies under a conservatorship